What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Chanella and I'm tuning in from Portmore, Jamaica. I don't necessarily have a whole script for this video. I'm honestly just going to be talking to you guys from my heart, and that's what I want the flow of my videos to be here on. I wanted to just take this time just to encourage you guys, other young people out there who may come across this video, to not compromise your faith. Do not compromise your faith for anyone or anything. And this can look like a whole world of different things. Compromising in terms of maybe relationships that you get into, compromising in terms of deciding not to necessarily get into the word today because you have to attend to something else. And I know a lot of times there are different factors that would influence whether or not you have your devotion one day or not. But the reason why I am encouraging you not to compromise your faith, especially in today's world and today's culture, is because I've seen firsthand what that can do for you, how much that can take away from who you are, how much that can make your mental state just really be jacked up. When you start to step away from the things of God and you start to take in the things of the world, I am telling you, it's just going to lead you down to a path of destruction, and you're just going to want to run back to the Lord. And so it's kind of like that thought process of, you came to be a Christian for a reason, so why would you try to go back to the reason that you were running from in the first place? And it's not easy because we're human beings, and a lot of times if we're going through different struggles, whether financially, socially, through relationships, whatever it may be, a lot of times that causes us to look at another person because we want to see how this other person is living. We see someone else who on social media doesn't look like they're suffering the way we do, and because we are Christians, we feel like it's like an automatic thing to think, oh, because I'm a Christian I don't have that much freedom, or because I'm a Christian I'm not gaining what you're gaining, I don't have the same opportunities that you have, and that's why I'm in such a bad place and I'm depressed, and that's why you are so happy. But I'm here to remind you guys and to tell you guys that that is not the case. A lot of times what you see on social media is just a facade, or just a tiny highlight of that person's life, just one moment of that person's life. You don't know how that person walked into that opportunity. You don't know who they're hanging out with. You don't know the backstory, and so you are actually damaging yourself, your faith, your self-worth, when you allow yourself to compare at your life, when you allow your life to be compared to that person's life. You're not God. You don't know what's going on behind the surface. And so I want to encourage you guys that don't allow your mental health to get down the drain because you keep on looking on someone else and thinking that you're left behind, and it's because of God not loving you or something crazy like that. Because I'm beginning to realize that a lot of us struggle with that. I myself, I'm on social media a lot because my side hustle has to do with social media, and I deal with that all the time, where I see all these different people in Jamaica and they look like they're living a very good life, and I'm just like, why do I have to work so hard? Why do I have to always face all these struggles? Why does it feel like every time I try one thing, I'm just stuck in this never-ending cycle? Why is it so hard to break poverty off of my life? Like, all these different things come to mind because I'm looking on what other people are doing, or I'm looking on their lives. And there's a very thin line between having someone who helps to motivate you to push yourself and work harder versus having someone who makes you feel dejected, and all of a sudden you start comparing yourself to that person, and that's not the will of God. And so this is just to remind you guys that God's plan for us is for us to prosper and to be in good health, for us to have a good life in Him. That is God's plan for our lives. And so we should not allow what we go through or the family that we were born in shape our thinking to say, okay, we are left behind or we're at a disadvantage than others. that's not the case, because irregardless of where you come from or where you were born, the Lord's plan for you as his child remains the same: to be prosperous, to be in good health, to live a good life. And so of course for everybody this is going to come a different way. And the truth is, a lot of times it's because, yeah, we don't have the same opportunities as some people would say people uptown have, or has as the rich kids have, because they are coming into an inheritance. We don't have that. But instead of sitting down and feeling sorry for yourself and feeling like you need to go out into the world so that you can get those opportunities, why not think about how you can use wisdom, apply wisdom into your life, and use the faith that God has given you to work towards getting what you want, instead of trying to run for those things. You know, it's really all about your perspective. And one thing I realized that a lot of times when I find myself doubting God, or when I find myself being upset with God, it's because in that moment I'm longing for something and he's not giving it to me right now. It's not necessarily because I've lost faith in God or because I don't believe in God. It's more so because I want something right now that I see someone else is enjoying. And because I feel like I'm not getting that, I'm not benefiting from that in my life right now, I in turn ask God, like, why? Why do I have to sit down and feel like this? Why do I have to sit down and just have a boring life or something like that? And so for us, a lot of times that's the case. So this is just to help you to do an introspection, you know, into your own heart. Like, is it that you really just want something right now that God is not giving you, and that is why you're feeling so demotivated? These are some, you know, serious questions we should all ask ourselves as Christians. And whether we see it or not, these all factor into how we operate as Christians, how we believe as Christians, how we live our lives. For me, these past few months, a lot of these thoughts have come to my head, but ideally the whole point of this is just to encourage you to keep the faith. What is out there in the world is not going to be better than what you can get in Christianity, this especially long term. You can backslide and go out in the world and enjoy 2 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, but I guarantee you that you're gonna meet up on the very same reason why you left the world in the first place. Because the world is what it is. It is what it is. You are safe in Christianity in so many different ways, and it's not the easiest road, but sometimes the right road is not always going to be the easiest. And so you don't want to compromise that because you see a different lifestyle that looks like it's fun. What you see on the outside isn't necessarily what it is on the inside. And so to all my Christian friends out there who feels like, you know, it's summer holiday, you know, you feel like, yeah, eat this more, go out and blah, 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 like, be reminded of why you came to Christ in the first place. And as I said in my last video posted months ago, Jesus is not your enemy. God is not your enemy. He's not there withholding good things from you, or he's not there trying to punish you because you were born in this type of family, or because you have to jump over these obstacles. These obstacles in your life is supposed to build you, to make you better, to make you stronger. And trust me, when you get to that point in your life, after going over those obstacles, you'll realize how much it's worth it, because you can say, I worked for what I wanted. The Lord provided for what I wanted. He remained faithful. And so persecution helps you to build faith, because then when you're in that place of persecution, you remember that, hey, I was in a worse place last year and the Lord took me out of it. So this is my encouragement to you. Stay in Christ. Don't compromise your faith for a video you saw on Instagram of a bunch of people partying and looking like they're having fun. You don't know what the aftermath of that looks like. And even if you do, remember why you left the world in the first place and choose to walk with Christ. It's because this is the better road, walking in Christianity, and you know that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my handle on IG is Chanella_cast. I'm active on there again, but I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Enjoy your week.